This is the Dangerous Faith Podcast. My name is Nate Williams. With me, we have Zeke, Blake, Isaac, and Mariah. And we're going to be reviewing 2024. And our format will be 0 stars to 5 stars, pros and cons. And then at the end, we'll ask the question, would we recommend this year for someone else? It's like, hey, you're going to have a year like the way I did. I would recommend it or I would not recommend it. So we're going to go ahead and kick us off. All right, let's just walk down the line. Reviewing 2024, 0 stars to 5 stars. Zeke, we'll start with you. What would you rate your year? That you're leaving a review, right? It's a product. You're leaving a review. What'd you give it?
5 out of 5.
5 stars. Great. Blake, review your year.
I'm not allowed to have a good year, Isaac. Don't give me that look.
5 is perfect. So you're never going to be able to beat it? 4.9 at least.
4.9.
Okay. Thank you.
4.9. Blake?
4 out of 5.
4 out of 5?
I don't think it registered.
And then Isaac, what would you rate your year?
4.325.
4. Okay. All right. Very specific. Mariah?
3.
3 out of 5.
Yes.
Pretty mid.
Pretty mid.
Pretty mid year.
That's
All right. Not bad.
Nate, what would you rate your year?
I think for my year, I would give it a 4 out of 5. I think it was a good year.
Wow.
Pretty solid.
I see things I could have done better, but overall, God's been very good to me. Lots of blessings. Isaac?
I'm feeling conviction. I need to raise my number a little bit. 4.7.
4 points.
You want to add any numbers after that?
That's a good year.
Just 4.7.
Okay. Now, looking back, pros and cons of the year, this is where you can go big picture. Mariah, before we started recording, you mentioned like the election. You can mention that as a pro or a con. You can get very specific to what happened with you individually. So, Zeke?
Sorry, Chloe told me that hers was 4 out of 5, but she didn't specify.
4 out of 5 stars. Chloe was not able to be with us today. R.I.P. No, just kidding. She's okay. Just busy at the moment.
R.I.P.
Awesome.
She's in school.
Yeah, she's in school.
Rest in pharmacy.
Rest in pharmacy. Okay, so pros and cons, y'all list them out for your year. This can be up for everyone, anyone, everyone. Pros and cons.
I had my first son.
Was that a con?
So is that a con, Isaac?
That is a pro.
You didn't really state it.
That's like a 5 out of 5.
It goes without being stated.
So Isaac had a son, which is amazing. Isaac, that's awesome.
Yeah.
Pretty cool. All right, anyone else? Pros and cons. What happened in your year?
I graduated college.
That's great.
It only took 10 years, but I did it.
There we go. So proud of Zeke, graduating college. Was it everything you wanted and more?
Yes.
Okay, great. All right. Anyone else?
I became a youth pastor.
Okay.
So Blake became 1/3 of a leadership team, obviously, of 3 people.
This is like whenever, I feel like what he's about to say is whenever Dwight is like, I'm the assistant manager, and then he's like, no, assistant to the manager.
Yeah.
Yes.
To
So
the regional manager.
Blake has joined a team of 3 people leading the youth group, the student ministries at our church. So we're very proud of him. Blake, that's awesome.
Proud of you.
1/3 of a
Hey,
youth pastor.
you got plat.
Oh, I did get plat. I'm actually plat 2 now.
Yeah.
Nice. Rocket League. Okay, so Blake is just crushing things over
Riley's
there.
So confused.
I don't know what that is.
Oh, we
Basically,
Beat the boss in
he
Terminus together.
moving up in Rocket
Trio.
League, the video game. Have you heard of Rocket League?
No.
Car with soccer, or
I
soccer
heard
with
y'all
cars.
talk about it.
So you're a car and you're trying to hit the ball into the goal. It's a video game.
Yeah, it's awesome.
It's way it's too complicated for your level of thinking. So
The ways you spend your time.
don't even worry
Yes.
about it. It's only something that elite people do.
One thing, we've had 3 people who have been diagnosed as Call of Duty video game addicts.
Yes. Only 3. Wait, where's Justin? Well, Justin's not here.
Yeah.
So
shows you
I
who's
said these
worse.
3
Yeah, so 3.
because you.
We're not addicts. I don't fiend. I'm not thinking about going home and beating Citadel right now.
I twitch a little bit when I'm not playing.
Hey Blake, what place are you not thinking of? What?
Citadel.
You're not thinking of Citadel.
I'm not. It's not like the worst it gets is I close my eyes and that's all I see. Like that's as bad as it gets.
I'm going to be honest with you. Like last night, because we played Citadel, like when I was trying to go to sleep, all I could think about was waking up the next day to beat.
Oh,
the
my.
map.
Yes,
We got so close.
Dude, it's so bad.
It is
like,
a-
oh man, we're gonna beat it today.
So, anyways, they're doing that. Mariah, what about you? Pros and cons? Anything stick out?
Oh no.
I'm trying to think.
You have a pretty cool job.
Got a pretty hot man.
I
Careful, he might be
traveled
listening.
a little bit
Sorry.
this
Cut that
year.
out.
Yeah.
That was
Nice.
a pro. Always fun to travel.
Where'd you go?
In August, I visited my friend and we went to a wedding in Michigan.
Michigan is beautiful
I
in the
love
summertime.
Michigan, yes.
Okay. And then out there, Mackenzie's a little preoccupied with John Isaac, but Mackenzie's with us as well in spirit.
Yes.
And so, anyways, so pros and cons to the year. I think for me, I enjoy my jobs, ALCAP, and being a interim associate pastor as well. So very blessed for the jobs that I have. Zeke?
Sorry, Mariah. If you said it, I was distracted because Blake won't stop touching this. Inappropriately,
I
might I
wasn't even
add.
doing anything.
Good one. What did you say your reason for the 3 out of 5 was?
My reasonings, I think.
Why not
to
higher? Why
say
not
them-
lower?
To say this on air, let's see. Some personal things
Okay.
that happened in my life this year was kind of crazy.
Gotcha.
So
Gotcha. But it was 3 out of 5, and so not everything was terrible.
yeah, it
Okay.
could always be worse.
Wow.
Gotcha. Isaac, you wanted to say something?
I was sitting here thinking about
He's going to
my
change
year.
his
I was sitting
answer
here thinking
again.
about my year, and I'd go, what else happened this year that was like pretty amazing? And it's crazy how having a baby will skyrocket your year to like 1,000.
I know. Tell me about it.
Because, see, shut up. Thinking about the rest of the year, it's like just a normal year. It's just like a normal year. And I'm like, yeah, we had some good things, we had bad things, blah, blah, blah. Like nothing crazy happened, but we had him. And so it makes it like the best year ever.
Yes.
He's a blessing, for real. Everybody have kids
Right now.
right now.
This sounds a little painful.
No, not really.
Yeah,
I mean,
think
it didn't hurt me at all.
If
Wow.
men had kids the way that women do, that would be painful.
That's what I'm
would be
saying. He's
painful.
telling me to have a kid now. I don't have a woman, so I'd have to do it by myself.
That would, well, yourself, or you'd have to engage in behavior that we should avoid.
Well, that's why he said himself.
Or
Yeah,
adopt.
that's by myself.
Or adopt.
Yeah.
Oh, I could adopt. I didn't think of that.
Well, they won't let you adopt as a single parent most of the time.
Yeah, I
Well,
have to have a
there's-
lot of money. I don't have a lot of money.
You could always do crime.
Always do cry.
I could steal somebody's
As long as
baby.
you don't get caught, because they look at backgrounds.
Yeah, so just don't get caught.
So that's the hard part.
One of the greatest ethical lessons I often talk about is it's only wrong if you get caught.
Yep. That
Remember
makes sense.
Spoken
That's
like
the
a true associate pastor.
Yep.
well. That's why he's getting replaced.
Babies are
That is why I will be shortly replaced.
babies are great.
Babies are pretty great.
Nate, what'd you say your answer was?
To what?
4. He said it was
You said 4.
4 out of 5.
What was your reason for 4 out of 5?
So I feel like a little bit like Isaac. If I'm going to do 5 out of 5, it might have to be just one of the greatest years I could imagine. But it's been a very good year. But I could see, let's say one day, if I have a kid, that would be a big boost. Or something else at that level, that would probably bump it to a 5 out of 5. But it's still a 4 out of 5 because I'm still very blessed. Think about all the stuff that I have. I love y'all. Y'all are great. And just my jobs, my family, immediate, extended. I just think about how good God has been to me. And so it's 4 out of 5.
Sorry, I'm taking over this podcast. Isaac, what was your reason for not having 0.3 more? You had a kid, so what's left?
And have more kids.
So your other kids are going to be better than the first kid.
No.
Oh.
That's essentially what you're saying. though.
No.
So how do you get from 4.7 to 5? Is it when you have the 10th
Jesus
one?
comes back.
Okay.
That'd be pretty
How do you get to
stellar.
4.9? 9.
We beat the zombie map.
Auburn has to win the Iron Bowl.
Oh, okay. Yeah, that's a good one.
Well,
Well, Jesus is only 0.1% better. 0.01% better.
no, point.
Auburn
point-
beating the Iron Bowl.
0.1% better is a lot when you get to the end. You know what I mean? It's like when you're downloading a game and it goes all the way. It's fast, and then it gets to the end. It's like it takes like 3 hours. That 1%.
Just that last
It's
little bit.
very dense.
No, not
very
if you-
dense.
Not if you have Sprout.
Not if you have Sprout. Blake comes in with a commercial.
Shameless plug.
And so, all right.
Jesse said thank you, by the way. Y'all got the Sprout put in the week you said you would.
You're welcome.
Okay, so going back over the last 12 months or so, is there anything you would have done differently? So think about life decisions, think about different plans you've made. What is something that you would have done differently?
Before we talk about that, isn't it crazy how you can go through life and your whole year seems bad, or like you have situations here or there where you're stuck and you're in the present and you're like, this is terrible. But then when you get down the road and you look back at the year, you're like, wasn't that bad.
Perspective.
Yeah.
That's powerful.
Mm-hmm.
We always think when we're going through a trial in the moment that it's the end of the world. But then, like you said, you look back and you're like, oh, it wasn't too bad.
Mm-hmm.
Very true.
We should all take that to heart for the next year and for the end of this year.
I agree.
Way ahead of you.
God will see us through.
What was your question?
The question was, looking back at the 12 months, would you make any different decisions? Would you do anything
I
differently?
hate this question so much.
Yeah, because you don't make mistakes.
No.
Like,
I've made
you
mistakes.
have not done a single thing wrong this
No,
year.
I've done so many things wrong, but I hate that question because if I could go back and change things, the way I look at it now is like, if I could go back and change things, yeah, I might be able to make a better decision in the moment. But then I look at what Christ has done through my mistakes.
Mm-hmm.
And that's why I hate that question.
Then why
It's
not
like,
just make more mistakes?
oh, great
That's
point.
what someone asked Paul.
Great point. That's actually a good point.
I think it's more of a thinking exercise. It's like,
Yes.
what do I see from now, from a perspective of been through it, that I would say in the future, I don't want to make those mistakes again?
Anything come to mind?
Yeah, a lot.
Anything you feel like sharing?
No.
Okay. So, anyone else?
I don't really make mistakes. I'm just
Must be
kidding.
nice.
Isaac does not make mistakes.
Really doesn't.
It's like that Chuck Norris joke. The only time Chuck Norris was wrong was when he thought he had made a mistake.
To be serious, if I could go back, I would, and I say this every year no matter where I'm at, but I would take my faith more serious, as in like, you at the beginning of the year, you always say, oh, I'm going to read the whole Bible book to book. I'm going to read every day, all this stuff. And you don't do it. And the more years that you don't do it, the less time you have to actually grow and be closer to Christ. And sometimes I sit and I think, I'm like, if a year ago I would have really, really, really been like, I'm going to make this a habit, where would I be at compared to now? And so now I'm like, okay, let's not think about the last year. Let's think about right now. If I make this a habit, where will I be in a year?
Mm-hmm.
And there's things in my life that I think about that right now. And I'm like, okay, I want to change those things and go forward.
I agree. And I think for me, one thing I'm trying to do is I've lost about 10 pounds, but off of Isaac's thought, I'm like, so I've lost that weight, but like, where could I have been had I started much earlier? Mm-hmm. And so it's kind of that thing of, well, what I have to tell myself is that would have been nice, but I didn't. And so what matters is today as we try to make decisions forward. So that's a good point, Isaac. What could have been if we're building up healthy habits? And so we try to start when we can. Anyone else? Different decisions?
I don't know where this sentence is going, but we'll find out. I gave it 4.9. I'm trying, as y'all start giving your answers, I'm like, I don't know if it's really a 4.9, but I'm having a hard time, and this is going to be, I hope it doesn't come off as bragging or arrogant, but like I'm having a hard time of thinking of bad things, like truly bad things that happened to me this year. Praise God for that, but I'm sure there were things. It's just harder for me to think of them, and I don't know why that is, because I could look back at other years and I could easily pull up bad things that happened. But
So, Zeke,
I don't
maybe
know.
you had a 5 out of 5
Yeah,
year.
that's
I don't
good.
know.
That's a good thing.
No,
I don't-
impossible. Jesus did not come back.
No one's using your standard besides you.
Jesus is using it.
So, Zeke, does that mean, because you can't think of anything you would want differently, that
I mean, I guess there was some bad things like at the start of the year.
That
Wait,
was
it-
last year.
See, I can't keep up my years. Wait, when was that?
Last
Christmas?
For some reason I thought it was
Gave
this.
you my heart.
Was that August?
I think, or September. I
Did
thought
you,
it was
get,
September.
did you get married to Chloe this year?
No,
No, that was
year.
last year.
Dang.
We already had her 1 year.
Dang.
I mean, I don't know.
That's good.
I can't even keep up with your guys' lives.
So,
But
Zeke,
but I
what's
could-
stopping you from having a 5 out of 5 year?
Isaac told me I couldn't.
Don't let Isaac control your decisions.
I always
Isaac's
let
got
Isaac
the
control my
perfect standard,
decisions.
though.
Look, I'm telling you, if Jesus comes back, you're going to be like, okay, this was a 5 out of 5 year.
I don't know. Have you read Revelations?
Are you a Christian?
Yeah.
Okay.
I'm just saying, like, it's pretty scary.
Are you a Christian?
I'm a Christian.
Okay.
Mariah, what about you? If you don't want to share, that's fine.
Oh, well, I was gonna say, like, back to the when y'all were saying things you wish you would have done earlier, or like, man, like mine's like school, like, I wish I would have taken a little bit more classes or like done that, but you know, it's all going as it goes.
Going as it goes, and you're right. We all could look at habits that we have. It's like, man, we could be a different spot by now if we had done it. Just think in 2008, instead of whatever we were doing, playing video games and running around outside, we should have been buying up houses.
Yeah.
You know, just I should have started back then, you know, Isaac?
But not to harp on that. I think that's good. Like, so now that we know we should have done, not the buying the house thing, but now that we know that we should have been doing those habits or doing those things, we can do them.
Yeah, I agree.
At least we're in the know now and we're not blind.
Good point. Yeah. Start now because you really don't have any other option. You can't change the past. And so looking at this past year overall, let's go a little bit bigger. Culturally, politically, how would y'all rate things, not just your own life, but the direction our country's heading in, the direction you could go a little bit smaller to Alabama or whatever. Do you think this was a good year for the country, or what are any thoughts there at a bigger level?
I think it definitely marked like a big shift. The election did, or like even leading up to it, and then the results was just a big shift. But either way, it would have gone. It would have been a big shift, in my opinion, of like the culture, and like.
So it would have been a big deal regardless.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay.
I think, sorry. Yeah, I think you're right. I think it's kind of interesting to see how it turned out. Of like, I could see us winning like the electoral college, but I was surprised when we won the popular vote of like the majority of Americans voted Republican.
At this
that feels like a
point,
shift.
it has dipped below 50%.
Oh,
But
my bad.
that's one way of doing the popular vote. However, in terms of just who had the most votes, Trump still won.
Wait, what do you mean by if he had the most votes, that's the popular vote?
So let's say you have 3 candidates.
Yeah.
Okay. There are 2 different ways of looking at like majority vote.
Mm-hmm.
If you have 3 candidates split perfectly 3 ways, nobody would be over 50% because there are 3 candidates.
Yeah.
This is what happened with Trump. He's below 50% overall of the total amount of votes casted. But that's one
of the
version of the popular vote.
Between him and Harris, he
Harris,
got more, right?
he got more than her.
Okay,
yes.
that's what I meant.
Yeah.
Those
Yeah.
third-party votes don't really matter.
Third-party votes don't matter. That is its own topic right there. But okay, yeah. Blake, Isaac, thoughts on a bigger level? Direction, culture, direction of the country. This year, would recommend, would not recommend?
We got to say we lived through a president getting shot.
That was pretty dope.
Pretty sweet.
Not for him, but like,
Not for him. I mean, he didn't die.
A
which
lot
is
of people
great.
would say it was faked.
it's pretty.
Some have.
If that was fake, that was pretty cool. Pretty stellar acting and shooting and yeah.
Sure, a lot of different things there. Yeah, that was historic, and it's very telling. It was a historic event for us, but because we become so desensitized, it was just the latest thing. And just on to the next. But if you stop, that's awful for something like that to happen if, it indeed was real. But for us, with our social media brains, it was just on to the next, whatever.
I think another pretty cool moment in history, and I hope they put it in the history textbooks, but the fact that Kamala Harris got Meg the Stallion to twerk at a DNC rally.
Yeah, that was something.
What does that say, Blake?
I don't know what that says. I could.
our culture.
That's straight up out of a South Park episode.
Yeah. I got another big thing that happened. All the coming out of all the Hollywood, Diddy, sexual, stuff that came out, which obviously we know Hollywood's already like that, we know, but
I didn't know.
all the stuff that came out heavily was just crazy.
Yeah, Diddy getting busted, and then, our favorite, the Hawk Tuba girl becoming popular.
And now she's got the rug pulled out from under her.
And she might
What?
be going to jail.
Yep.
What?
She did a crypto scam.
Oh,
Did you hear what? Okay. Mariah,
Mr. Beast.
You're caught up on
well, yeah, she started her own, I guess, Bitcoin type thing,
What is it
cryptocurrency,
called? Was the Hawk coin? What is it called?
something like that.
Yeah.
But anyways, it debuted. A lot of people bought it. And some detail of what she did, she went and maybe sold it, or she took their money. Something happened. They all lost their money, and she's going to jail. I'd have to get the details back in my brain, but that's illegal, whatever she did, to start something like that and then take their money. It was a scam. Isaac?
I think culturally, this year has been pretty bad.
Yeah.
Why would you say that?
Just so many things happening, and there was so much hostility before the election and during, and you see how, what do you call it, brain rot?
Yeah.
Our society is when people like the Hawk Tuah girl get super famous off of stuff like that, and then you got all these wars like Israel and Gaza, and some people say that both sides are bad, and the Ukraine stuff. It's just I feel like culturally, if I don't look at my life and I look at a broader scale, I feel like it's not where we want to be.
I agree.
And maybe it's shifted, maybe it's changing, but
Isaac, and that's why God made you.
You're
for the ups and downs.
For the ups and downs. For the days of doubt.
Yeah.
And no, I agree. They're different.
It's a song.
Anyways.
Blake Shelton, I think.
Yeah, I think so. I don't know.
God
Who?
gave you. Yeah.
Now my mind's blanking on who's saying it. But anyways, a lot of unrest at the broader level. And so, all right, last question. You're reviewing the year. And if you're listening, you can do this exercise as well. Just walk through your year. It's good for us to practice, good for us to reflect. That's the good word. Reflect on what's happened. What are y'all?
God Gave Me You. That's the name of the song.
There we go.
By who though?
Blake Shelton.
Okay, that's it. Anyway.
So last question, and like I said, if you're listening, you can do this exercise yourself. Would you recommend if someone was going to have a Mariah year, an Isaac year, a Blake year, a Zeke year, just for themselves, their own version of it, would you recommend your year to someone else? Zeke?
I mean, I guess I have to if I
Yeah,
put 4.9.
after what
Is
you
that a
just said, you
question?
have to.
But I mean, to be fair though, I don't. Even if I had a crappy year, I'm not saying I would always have a good reaction, but I try to look at the bigger picture, and that's why we've talked about as Christians before. We always can point to the bigger picture of even in our bad years or our bad times, we still have the ultimate hope. So it's really hard for me to have a truly awful year. The worst things could ever happen, and as long as I still have Christ, it's still a good year. So I may not always act that way. I'm not pretending like I'm perfect, but
You are.
that's how I try to live my life, even if I'm having a bad day or a year.
You always have Jesus.
So yeah.
So Zeke, you didn't answer the question.
Oh.
Would you recommend?
I said at the start, if you were listening, Nathaniel, yes, I guess I have to if it's a 4.9. So yes, I would recommend
There we go.
it.
Own it. Yes, Isaac.
I'm with Zeke. I don't think people could handle my year. I mean, no matter,
You never said that.
no matter how good it was, the ups and downs. I don't think they could take that kind of roller coaster. You know what I mean?
That's exactly what Zeke said.
You're just built different, bro.
Isaac is built. So the question doesn't apply to Isaac because it's only his year. He's the only one that could go through it.
Nobody can handle what I've been through.
I would recommend. It's crazy because I wouldn't want people to go through some things, but I would want people to go through.
It would come as a package deal.
You get this and that.
You can't say 4 something and then say no.
You're at 4.7.
Why would they love my child the way I love my child?
They're not getting your child.
It would be their equivalent in their own life.
They're not living your
Okay,
life.
I would
Your child isn't
I would
my
recommend. Do they get the same type of wife and everything?
It was
Yes.
your year, so
It's
yeah.
your,
Yes.
They get Mackenzie. They just take your child to Mackenzie.
Nope, don't recommend. I want them.
All right, Blake. Blake, all right. What would you say?
If you can handle a lot of crying and a lot of self-reflecting, then I'd recommend my year.
You have to
Same.
clap, so.
He's like a Jeremiah.
Yeah.
This is your Jeremiah year.
I'm Jeremiah minus all the cool things about Jeremiah.
What cool things?
Exactly.
I think he had long hair.
Did he?
I don't know.
He was a
Everybody.
prophet.
I'm not a prophet.
He lived anyways. Mariah, I don't want to depress you more. Blake.
I mean, probably not, but maybe because there's some people that I mean,
So
same-
no. So no. Just say no.
No.
There we go.
I would say, Isaac?
I want to clarify. I would recommend. It was all jokes. I would recommend my year.
I want
McKenzie's going to hear him, so.
to clarify. I would say no, just because they're not built like me. I'm the only one who can handle this burden.
Yes. Blake is built different. Isaac is built different. All right.
Built
I
for
think
tough.
I think for me, it's been a very good year. And so I would say I would recommend. Not everything went perfectly, but that's also part of life. And also, I get to have a pretty good friend group that I love.
Say, you have a 5 out of 5 year.
I was
every
going to
year.
say, yeah.
I have y'all. Y'all are awesome.
We provide you with so much material.
A lot of material.
And food.
And food. Yes, very kind. And so if you could speak, Isaac, you're going to speak for Mackenzie. Zeke, speak for Chloe. Both of them are not here in this room right now. Zeke, do you feel like Chloe would recommend her year?
Chloe would want other people to have her year so that they would have more grace on her. But she told me before I came here, she said, you could not pay me to relive this year. So, because of school.
So I'm going to say that's a no.
Yeah.
Yes, that's a no.
Isaac, speaking on behalf of Mackenzie, who is right there, but with John Isaac at the moment.
On the opposite spectrum, Mackenzie would 10 out of 10 recommend her year.
Okay.
Yeah.
She
I don't think
had
her
a
face
son.
says so.
She had a son, which she loves dearly,
And she gets
wants
to
be a
be
mom.
with you.
Her flower business is starting to do better.
Great.
Yes, and obviously she has me.
What more could she ask?
Great year
Obviously.
for her. Great
Obviously.
year for
Because
her.
you're just built different.
And she's a wonderful person, and every year is good for her.
All right. So again, this is less serious in the point of take everything as gospel, and more, it's a good reflective exercise. We're supposed to think about the past, think about the future a little bit, not in terms of a control aspect, but how has God been moving? What have I learned? And so this would be a good exercise for you too, if you're listening out there. Go through your 2024. And actually, I said last question. This is actually it.
Oh my gosh.
Last one. Here it is. What has God showed you this past year? Or what have you learned? So I'll let you sit on that just a moment. I had that one in my brain, and then it slipped my mind until just now. How has God been moving? What have you learned? What has he showed you this past year? Anything come to mind?
I feel like this might be kind of harsh, but disobedience definitely has consequences.
Hey, Mariah, that is a very biblically
Accurate.
conclusion.
Can I say?
Mariah with the theology. Isaac.
Every action has consequences. I would say how little control we have not Calvinistic wise, but like
Yeah, like
over.
Sorry.
Like you stress over so many different things, and they usually work themselves out. Like God usually works it out, or you this or that. I don't know. Just you stress over. Like when Mackenzie was pregnant, there were times where we would stress, had like little scares and stuff, but God works it all out, and whether it's we like it or we don't, but He works it out.
Good thoughts. Blake or Zeke, anything pop out? How has God been moving? What has He showed you?
I think it's summarized in a really good quote from the Saint Mike Winger.
Yeah, Saint Mike Winger.
He was on a podcast, and it's actually advice that a single guy gave to him, but it's been some of the best marriage advice he's ever gotten, oddly enough. He said the advice was, any time where your spouse is doing something that that's on your nerves, or even if they do something that's objectively wrong, that is the best opportunity for you to reflect Christ in your marriage. And I've had to learn that time and time and time again. And Chloe's had to learn that even more than I've had to learn that, because I mess up a lot. But that's the hardest thing that before marriage I didn't really think about. Of like, you're constantly having to give grace and reflect Christ in your marriage. And you could apply that to friendships too, but
Yeah.
in marriage it just happens a lot more often.
Yeah.
Even over small things. So
Blake, that's a great quote, by the way. But Blake, what has God showed you this past year?
I guess just what He's showing me now is just at the end of the day, my hope and my comfort only comes from Christ Jesus and Christ Jesus alone.
Yeah.
amen.
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 Nate, as someone who knows the Bible from memory,
From
what
front
has
to
God
back.
shown you?
I wish I had a photographic memory. That would be so helpful. God showed me this year that if you don't find your identity in Him, you will go crazy.
Stop just copying Blake.
And so I will expound upon Blake. God can show the two people the same thing.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You are the same
Because
person.
I feel like I've
Yeah, we kiss after the pod. I mean,
We
pause.
all right. Where all the other things you could find comfort in, your relationship status, your bank account, your job, whether or not your political party's in power, whatever. It's like if you don't have that rock that is Jesus, it is tough because there's so much out there, storms that'll throw you around, but you have that rock, you have Jesus, you're going to be okay. You'll make it through. And so I've had to lean on that at different points this year. All right, y'all. I hope you've enjoyed the episode. Again, just maybe different things for you to think through as well. Blake, do you want to take us home?
No.
All right. Mariah, do you want to take us home?
I think Isaac or Zeke should. They never do.
I'm not musically inclined. Isaac.
Oh,
I can't play the guitar.
What is something?
Isaac's a good singer.
Hey, what was the boys? Since we've been playing so much, what is one of the catchphrases that we say?
I don't know. You say
Gotta
pause
catch
every
'em all?
30 seconds.
No. Do that. Give us the SpongeBob. I need it. Zeke.
Oh no. Go ahead. You
No,
do
you
better.
do it. No, you do it so much
You
better.
just said
You
the
came
other
up
day.
with it.
Go ahead.
You came up
I
with
don't
it.
remember.
Yes, you did. I remember it clearly.
Any day now, one of y'all.
You do it.
I don't even know what you're talking about.
Go ahead.
I'm good. I don't know.
Go, Blake.
Isaac,
Go ahead, Isaac. You
Take
got
us
something.
home.
I don't know.
Take us home.
Go. That's perfect. He did it.
No,
Keep that in there.
no.
I got it.
Let's go.
You still
I needed
play the
that.
guitar.
I just still play the guitar. Why? You want me to go get it right now?
Good.
Play.
You have it with you?
Yeah, I got a guitar. You want me to go get it real quick?
Yeah, go get it.
Okay.